This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. I will stay right here for a second. Welcome to our spring 2022 kickoff. Behind me and virtually on screen, we have 5 of our EOF scholars. And we're sorry you're not here to enjoy some of the dinner delights and some of our sweet treats. But certainly if you are on campus and you stop in to see Ms. Catherine Abarca, she may have some leftovers, at least sweet treats in her office, okay? So today what we're going to do, here's our agenda. Oh my gosh, look at that. It never wants to work. The clicker does it every time.
Click it at the left.
Momentarily, technical difficulties, story of my life. Yeah. I can just enter, right? If I hit enter, will it advance?
You should be able to just touch the screen with the mouse.
No, that didn't work. There you go. Okay, so our agenda for today, and I'm just gonna walk up front so I don't have my back to you all the whole time, is once again, welcome, and welcome to our renewal scholars. So welcome you all back this spring semester. Hopefully you all had a wonderful winter break. And I'd like to welcome our new scholar, Lorena, who is virtual online. Lorena, you can wave. And I believe Angela, you're a prospective scholar as well. So we are looking forward to receiving your contract. And if you can't find it, Mr. Barker will send it to you, okay? And our other camera shy scholars, Brianna and Chris, feel free to type any questions that you might have in the chat. Can you hear me? Not very well? Okay. I'll try to yell louder. Maybe we'll close the door.
Can you hear her? She's louder? Yeah, Angela says so.
I'll stand closer to, is that better? A little? Yes? Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to introduce Catherine Abarca, who is our new EOF, I almost called you director, our new EOF coordinator who just joined us at Warren County Community College this December 1st. And so let's give her a warm EOF family welcome. Yay. So Catherine, you might want to, well, they just met you a second ago, but I'll let you share a little bit about yourself, and then we'll do an icebreaker transition with Lisa.
I don't do very well with yelling unless I'm mad, so I will try to be as loud as possible. So I am an EOF alumni myself. I went to WCCC and then I transferred to Rutgers. Always EOF, proud. I'm really excited to be here, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you and helping you through your journey.
And tell them where your office is.
Oh yeah, 229.
229, second floor, yes. And Lisa's gonna come up and do a little icebreaker. Our theme for this school year has been clean slate from the summer to the fall, and now we're rolling it into the spring semester. So Lisa, take it away.
All right.
Do I need to go to the next slide or no?
I'm sorry, you're getting way. I want each one of you to go up to the board and put down an adjective that describes you as a student last semester. It can be a good adjective, it can be a bad adjective. Everybody gets to go up and do it. One at a time, whatever. For those of you online, if you want to go ahead and put it in the chat, one adjective that describes you from last semester. They're not going to be able to see it though. Tired?
Just one?
Just one. Lorena says stressed. Angela, I'll put it in chat for you. Stress says Chris.
Yeah, all right.
How do you spell adjective?
Or circle it, circle it.
How do you spell adjective? Adjective. That doesn't look right.
G-A-C-T-I-V-E.
That's not it.
Thank you, Lorena. I should have Googled it. Just one more.
Was there one more?
Just see if Angela has one to share with us. Tina's brother's coming in. All right, we can move on. So, why do they type these things so down that like we can't do anything? So, for those of you at home, I don't know if you can see the board. Not really. But we wrote down everybody's adjective up there. So let's go talk about them for a second. Oh, you guys ready to discuss your adjectives? We're going to go over each one and tell me what it means to you. Okay? Every single one of them, we're going to go over them.
Did you write adjective? You missed it. You're supposed to write one adjective.
He doesn't count.
We don't count. Okay. You do count.
All right, so let's talk about all these adjectives. What?
What happened? Why'd you miss it?
Because you have clean slate this semester. Ah, I gotcha. Describe you last semester does not have to describe you this semester. Right? Because we're starting new. The grade you're grading last semester, that's fine. Some of you are sure did great, some of you are like, what the fuck happened? And the point is that whatever described you last semester doesn't apply to you this semester unless you allow it. Okay, so that's something I want you to think about. You guys can hear me, right? No? So basically what I did was I went up to the whiteboard where everybody put down their adjectives.
You see
Yeah,
this
I can
face?
hear you.
If I'm like this, there's something going on.
I can't always see you though. When I was at the whiteboard, I couldn't see.
Okay.
And Chris was eating chicken tenders, so she didn't hear a thing. Fine. I see how it is. But basically, I went up to the whiteboard where everybody had written down their adjective, and we had written down your adjectives. And then I said we're going to talk about them, and I erased them all. The point is that the adjective that described you last semester does not have to describe you this semester. You get a clean slate at the beginning of a new semester. You can choose how you're going to let your schoolwork, your academics, your life affect you now. Your past does not define your future, right? We all have a clean slate with a new semester. So that's kind of what I wanted to. Oh, Chris, facts. That's right, man. So I just kind of wanted to walk you through that idea that what defines you in the past does not define you today. We make a choice every day to be the person we are today. Okay? All right, Lorena heard that. Yeah.
So the rest of our agenda, we're going to talk about semester information, academic. We're going to have an academic goals presentation, academic goals activity. You're probably
Lorena can't hear you.
I'm just going through the agenda that you can see on the board. So you're probably wondering why potatoes with an exclamation mark are up there, but you will soon find out, each one of you. And then we'll have some closing remarks. So we'll turn the floor over to Catherine, and it's probably better just come right on over here.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. Oh my, Lisa. Hold on. I can't.
Me and this. Okay.
Oh, that was the,
Yeah, you were supposed to get rid of that one.
sorry, my bad.
There we go.
Okay, so these are some really important dates for everyone to know. Can you guys hear me online? I just want to be sure. Okay. So I don't want to go through all the dates, but just make sure you're looking through it. Write down dates that are really sticking out to you and that may seem important. Like right now, if you're not eating, write down one date or a few dates that stick out that you think are important for you to know. And later you're going to put it in your calendar or you're going to put it in your phone, whatever your method is for keeping track of dates to know, except for you. So one I want to point out, now I'm going to mark my own calendar as well, and I will reach out and send reminders to you guys. That doesn't mean that you should put it in your calendar though. But when it comes to these times, right, like we'll check in, make sure everything is good. If you need anything, if you're going to graduate, put in your application, make sure that all of those things are completed. Graduation, who's graduating? You have your applications in? Awesome. I bet you have your graduation date written down. You know that one. You don't need to write it. We didn't write anything down. Yes. I think it's in a folder too, right?
You need this slide in the book.
Why are they picking the last day with 13 though?
Because they was wrong on the calendar.
Oh. I was gonna say, I thought it was
This is the correct.
the 13th.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Wow. So it's really not that. Almost now that you find out semester ends May 10th, you're like, woohoo!
So these are dates that we have EOF activities going on. February 28th is the first one upcoming. Tulu is coming in. He is an EOF alumni, and he is going to be talking about, I didn't include the whole title because it's really long, but in short, he's going to be talking about spending your money wisely, particularly when it comes to your refund check, giving you some financial tips and guides. March 7th to 10th, I'm going to host Midterm Madness Retreat in my office. And so that is really intended for everyone to have a space to go grab some fresh fruit. I'll have vegetables. I'll have, popcorn and different snacks. You don't have to stay. You can just grab something and go, water, juice, whatever. I also am going to have some different activities like arts and crafts. So if you want to just take a break from your studies for a little bit and take your mind off of things, I want you to feel like that's a space you can go and just chill for a few minutes or a few hours. Day at the Capitol is March 24th. It's going to be virtual. You can attend from your home. We don't know exactly what time it's running. Normally it runs for most of the day. Is that typical?
Yeah, and you can log in and out when you're available because it is on a Thursday and students have class, and that's oftentimes where students can't attend because they can't miss class. But hopefully there'll be points throughout the day that you'll be able to attend. And once we get that agenda, we'll send that out to you too. I'm sorry, what is that? Day at the Capitol is the day where generally students from all 52 EOF programs will get on a bus or some form of transportation and go down to the state capitol to Trenton. And I know when I first started working for EOF, I thought, oh my gosh, Day at the Capitol. I thought we were going to Washington, D.C. Right? No. But you have an opportunity to go and you sit in on the Senate session. I've been there where we were able to actually sit in on a live Senate session, or some of the senators will come down and talk to the EOF scholars from the different schools. If you didn't know, Tom King Sr. is the one, he was at the time a sitting senator and then became governor, but he is this EOF is his vision. So after the New York riots, EOF was born. And his son, Tom King Jr., often will come down and talk about, the legacy of his father. He's still alive, by the way. But how important EOF is still today, over 50 years later, to help support students in their student success.
And I could say too, just from a student perspective who attended, and granted it was different to go in person, of course, than to do it online, but it was so fun to meet other EOF students from different campuses and hear about things that they're doing and just, build your network, talk about, they're transferring to this school and find out what they're studying. It was fun. And it was empowering to see and meet the people who advocate for us, to be able to have the funding and have the programming. And that's what they do, right? Make sure that we all are here. So it's pretty cool. April 28th, we have a speaker coming in, Quanisha, and she's going to be talking about imposter syndrome. This will be an evening lecture. And then in May, we're going to have 2 dates. More to come on that, but I will be sending out information when it gets a little bit closer, or next week, either one.
Was that true?
I don't know. Okay, so with academic planning, I want everyone to think for a second about your why. So considering, why did you decide to come to college? What was it? Was it a moment? Is there a vision that you have that you said, I want to go to school? So just think about what that means for a minute, if it helps. So for me, when I started going to college, it took me a while to get there, but it was really important to me, and it felt like the only way out of where I was. So it felt like it was a path to something better, and I didn't know exactly what that better was, what it looked like, felt like, sounded like. I just felt like it was that pathway there. Fast forward to my first professional position post-graduation, I'll never forget, like, sitting in my office. I had a plant my mom gave me. I had my tassels from my graduations, and I had a coffee maker that a colleague gave me, like a little 4-cup, whatever. It was like my space, and I just like sat for a minute, and I cried. Like, it wasn't like a kind of cry. It was like I made it. Like, I made it through all of those struggles, all of the hard times, all of the things that I thought I couldn't go through to get to this point. I'm here, and it's not that struggles are over at that point, but it was just like a moment of, so I share that to encourage you to think about, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like to you? The end of the tunnel, the purpose, the reason. Does anyone feel comfortable with sharing, whether you're from home or here? Please.
The struggle is when you really is. And making it through, even if it's like a little struggle, is when it's done, it's such a victory. And I just, for me, the main reason was my work. So I have daughters. I don't have any sons.
God bless you.
But I constantly, like, my husband's great. They love their daddy. But I'm the biggest example. I'm I'm the female leader in the house. And it's like, I want them to know they can have it all. They can be mom, wife, they can be single, they can be career oriented, and they can just do anything and nothing can stop them. And I just didn't want them to constantly see me as always like mommy, mommy, mommy. I want them to also be like, wow, my mom, like, exactly. She's out there, she's doing her thing. And to do that, I had to continue my education. So, plus it took me, like 20 years to really figure out what I want to do in my life. But better later.
We're also figuring that part out, but thank you for sharing.
Lori has said that one reason she's here is because she wants to change her career. And we see that a lot, people who have actually gotten out there and then they figure out that maybe this isn't the right course for me. And they have to then figure out what is the right course. Keep in mind, whatever you do in college, it's not set in stone. Okay, when I first went to college, I never thought I was going to be a librarian, but here I am. I'm a librarian and other things. But, you know, I never thought that when I went into college the first time around. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to do something. You know, and I think that happens to a lot of people. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I do know I want to achieve something. So think about what that achievement is going to mean, what it's going to be. And I run into students all the time and say, I don't know what I want to major in. I don't know yet what I want to do. And that's fine. You don't have to know what you want to do. Man, I still have things I want to do. You know, things I want to be. I want to be an archaeologist. I want to go gold hunting in Alaska. I want to make it to freaking Oak Island and find treasure. I mean, I have so many things and so many other professions that I want to be. So just know that. Don't feel trapped. All right, don't feel trapped.
The perfect segue into your next point.
So small choices. When I think about my time in college, right? Like there were a lot of changes that I made in my life, and it wasn't overnight. They were little choices by little choices. I was like, well, what's important for me? Am I going to go to this party, go to this club, do whatever, or am I going to study because I know that I have this project coming up? Go hang out with friends, or am I going to do this? Am I going to work, or am I going to study? And there are always these choices, right? Am I going to watch Netflix, or am I going to, that wasn't a thing for me, but maybe it is for other people. I don't know. But point being, right, like it's not that one day, that one moment that you say, well, I'm going to go to the party instead of, or I'm going to go do this instead of. It's the accumulation of those choices. So if I keep choosing to go hang out with friends instead of studying, what direction am I headed in? Back to what is the purpose? I'm in school. I'm trying to do something, right? And there's a purpose for me being here. And if I remember and I stay focused on what that is, and I continuously make choices that leads me closer to that goal, before you know it, you end up actually achieving whatever that goal is. And there are a lot of little steps before you get to that point. And you're going to screw up and mess up and say, well, you know, that didn't work, or that wasn't smart, or whatever. I could have done that better. And that's all a part of it, right? But it's consistently making those small choices that lead you closer to your end goal. And then when I think about action and I consider the process of change, right? Like when you first consider, at least I can't say when you, for me, I wanted to go to school and it wasn't yet a reality for me. It wasn't a possibility. I don't think I was ready for a while because I was hanging out, doing whatever I wanted to do. And, you know, that's fine, worked out. But point being, you know, I wasn't yet ready to take action. So it was a thought, I had considered it. And then I got to the phase where I started exploring, what does it mean to go to school, and getting information about it. And then I actually like applied and I put forth that plan. I was like, I'm gonna go to school, and I did it. And I think I'm oversimplifying that situation, but point is, action is the result of all of those other pieces. So if you consider your why and you consider all of these small choices that you're making, that's what's going to lead to the action, right? So I hope that when you're going through your academic plan, you have your action plan that you're thinking about all of those pieces. Okay. Well,
That was a lot of food for thought. So when you are working on your action plan in a moment, which will be what Catherine will use when she's meeting one-on-one with you, or, you know, if you're needing to make a change in your course of action, then that will be kind of the foundation for your conversation.
So in your folders, there is the academic action plan. I would like all of you to fill it out while we're here. So what we're going to do is, and you need to fill out all the forms on that side, by the way. I need all of them tonight. But I need you to fill out that academic action plan. And what it is it's kind of a contract. This is how your semester, how you want it to go, and this is what we're going to try to do to prevent bad things from stopping us making progress. And then you're going to sign it. You're going to have somebody else in this room besides me or Tiffany or Catherine sign it as your witness. All right? You're going to have a witness sign it. And we get a witness. But anyway, I'm going to make a photocopy, and you're going to have a copy, and we're going to have a copy. So that way, if you start stumbling in the middle of the semester, we can look, okay, so what were you thinking at the beginning of the semester? What was going through your mind? What can we do now to try to get you back on track? Okay? It's not meant to be something that, you know, we're not going to be sitting back laughing at you guys or anything. I promise this time. We're going to be looking at it just to see how we can best help you. Okay? So for everybody online, I sent you the link, this job form link. It's the same thing they're filling out here. If you guys could take a minute and fill that out and then submit it, that would be great. So we'll take maybe 10 minutes to do this before we move on to potatoes. Woo! Potatoes are fun. If you have any questions or if you filled it out, let me know so I can make a photocopy of it and give you your copy back. All right? All right. You can get more food while we're doing this. You can, there's dessert. There's candy. There's drinks. Food. Did I mention there's food? No. I wasn't sure if everybody heard me. There's food. No.
All right, you have 10 minutes because we want to wrap up right on time.
Oh, I am. I came back to the I attended the first class. You know, do you want to eat anything though? After. Well, you have to go work out. Well, still work. Sure, don't worry. Don't worry, I won't make a mess of your library. I won't make things up. I don't know about that. Wow. You're dumping sugar in there earlier?
You left me with over here.
Your library needed some sweetness. Oh, ow. That's okay, Lisa still loves me.
Catherine, do we have our online folks in the drawing or no?
Only whoever put their name in.
If people email me.
You have so many files. I do, it's all because of you guys. Wait, do you have a paper copy of the contract? Travel with folders. There's the folder that I need to. That's why they're so hard. Change. My money is better or frozen.
I didn't read it.
That then you make everyone. No, next one.
Whatever.
That's TV. Oh. Well, apparently we're gonna be so you have to keep it. I know where it is. No, this is extra. Yeah, I put the track record of everything. He's like a friendly one. So, I don't know if you need to put things. See, you have to look in it. I just can't sign. Did you see the surprise? Yeah.
You should have, you gave him an evil look when she gave it.
It's enough that it's morning. So,
Alright, potato for you.
I was there first, so oh, no. I was in the party first. What are we gonna do with this?
Are you gonna sit here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take some.
Yes. They don't have an action plan, right? For online? Yeah, they do.
Oh, I sent them in.
Anybody
Don't
else?
worry, I'm not talking about you. Everybody else is
She's one of the other ones.
How much action plan is on?
Like, thank you, you didn't have to do it. Oh, thank you. It's such another thing like that. You know, oh, I can do that to my adult children too. Last night, in the middle of the night, my adult children cleaned the kitchen. And I was wondering what happened. I was like, stay over there.
We only do that when we're really big mad.
That's what I figured.
And then
Yeah. When you're done with your paperwork, the other stuff in there, please, bring it over to me. When you're done with your contract or your, plan.
I signed the contract and then give it to
Do not give the Tiffany, give it to me.
I give it to her.
Tiffany will lose it. Goodbye.
You have two finished, action plans.
What? You didn't see that. It's a given room.
So did you go to college, like, out of school?
To my virtual scholars, when you are all done and you've submitted your JOT, can you just type in the chat, done or complete? Okay.
Yeah. Where'd you go for it?
Yeah, that's like Botag. Alternative school, like, we're back in.
Oh, okay.
You know, all the unwanted.
Right.
The bad
You're
unwanted.
like the first boy.
And that's why where you start doesn't necessarily mean that's where you're gonna finish.
Right.
Right. That's right. You determine
Hey,
based on your small choices where you're gonna go.
Every single time.
So true with that, not a lot of.
He does it the exact opposite way of my, which is what I didn't want to work out.
And then the parents are getting aggravated because they're not doing it. Like, I just think like, they really have to think about what they want to do here. They're like, emotionally, ready to start school. But
I can't see the chat from here.
And my parents would say, like, even if it's you, what?
yeah.
You didn't even have what?
But I agree with you, it's interesting though, 'cause it's like my own perspective. No one in my school, no one in my house, none of my friends, like still to this day, anyone I knew before college, none of them have gone. No one told me like, oh, you should go to college or you should. So I don't personally understand what it feels like to be in a position that like everyone saying you should go to school. You should go to college. Yeah. And then now too, the other piece of that is I look at it as well, my nephew, for example, he graduated high school recently and his parents were trying to get him to go to college. And we encouraged him not to. And my husband got him a job as a plumber, so my husband does. You know, and it's an opportunity for, he may not be a plumber. And a part of me almost hopes he does it because I look at my husband and he's like young and fit and like broken down already.
Yeah, he did a lot of wear and tear, yeah.
But anyway, point being, you know, there's so many options and it's so valuable for young people to be encouraged to try and to fail and to do different things and to not just go
To find out what they like and don't like.
right.
Yeah, no, I totally
If
agree.
that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes some party together to find out that you're like, okay, I'm done with that. But like, you know, me and my husband talk about it all the time. I wish in high school, so like, they had a little spiel where they had to come in like, oh, this is all I can do. Yeah, great, okay, bye. And he's like, I wish somebody like actually sat with us and wrote down everything essentially. And warned us like, hey, you know, we should try to get it all so low. Try to do this, try to do that. He's like, when you're 17, 18, and they're like, we're gonna do this $20,000 in loan. He's like, yeah, great, okay, what is that? And they don't really get that financial advising about how it works, how you have to pay it back.
Online, can you just give me a thumbs up if you're done?
A lot of
Thumbs up.
times you go in,
Thumbs up.
and it's time for Like,
Okay.
first, my dad, when I started college, when I was younger, I thought, like,
You don't have to show the demonstration.
Oh, they have to see it.
so I was already with the financial burden at 18, you know, and I wasn't ready for school either. I was forced, it's like, you get out of high school. Yeah.
We're gonna continue your conversation.
All right. Thank you. All right. Scholars that are online, unfortunately, you don't have a potato and a straw. But if you stop into Catherine's office at 229, she will, well, we'll see how long the potatoes, we might be eating baked potatoes for lunch for the rest of the week. But, and I promise you, one of our scholars asked if we were making French fries. So no, we're not making fries.
We can make them.
You can go to Moe's and dump them, right? But all you need for this to bring home the point of our discussion today, and just to reinforce it, is a potato and a non-bendy straw. And with this potato, what we're going to do is attempt to take the straw and we're going to say the words follow through. So before we do it, think about where you want to pierce the potato. You have to pierce it with a level of force that you can get, see beyond the top, and you're going to go through it, okay? And you're just going to give it a little test run, and we're just going to say follow through, or if you're holding it like this is your technique, follow through. Pull it out. But when you're ready, you have to say the words with intensity. Follow through. Follow through. Follow through. Follow through. I got in the middle. Follow through. Follow through. I need to do. So the point of this, thank you. Follow through. I keep going outside. I keep going on too small.
Look at Eric. Do you see my potato? Right, ready? Bow. I don't know. I'm scared now. Bow. Wait, that's broken on that end. Bow through. Ah. I did it. Yeah, but I hit myself all through.
I got it in that time. Hold on. Follow. Turn it over. Follow through.
All right, guys, careful, you don't need it.
Oh,
Okay? Yeah.
oh my gosh, get a Band-Aid. Follow through. Okay, so we have how many successful?
One.
Yes, so we have.
I have a potato injury right there. Can you see it? My potato related
That's
injury.
what's not to do.
Is that workman's comp?
No.
Oh.
So the point of this activity was the following. So, well, A, we had some fun. So Catherine, can you flip those over for me and tape them up? Sure, we can give you another potato. You want to try it again?
Nice smacking with it.
So 4 things with this. We had fun, and in having fun, now you can actually say that you've learned something new, right? Even if it didn't work for you, but for some it did. And how many of you thought that you could get a straw through a hard potato? You never thought about it. You never thought about it, okay? So then if we think about motivation, oh, well, we'll go in order. We'll go process. So the process, and she's gonna flip that one over. So the question is, and you online can type it in the chat, what happens when you follow through? So
just tell me what you think. What happens when you actually follow through?
You fought through whole potato.
No, not relating to the potato, relating to just our conversation today, your goal setting, making your choices. There's a relief, yeah? What else? Yeah, you did something you didn't expect you could do. Yeah, in basic, simple terms, you got some results, right? You got some results. And I would also add, what else happens when you have a process? You make adjustments, right? Like Nina said, maybe I need a bigger potato. And if you correlate that to school, maybe that means you need more time on task studying for chemistry because that class is tougher than other classes. And Yasa said, my straw broke, I need another one. So maybe sometimes you need different equipment, different tools, different resources, and then you can go online and that you can correlate with my professor, I don't understand a thing they say, right? And then you can go on Khan Academy or go to your tutor and have it re-explained to you and have that aha moment, right? So then you retool and you've got yourself on a better path. Motivation. So how many of you thought you couldn't do it? One. Anybody online think that they couldn't do it? Or you think you could do it? Okay, so Lorena, she's like, I don't know. All right. So one thing, when you actually follow through, it builds your confidence, right? When you do a good job, if you complete a task, even if it's something very simple, you paint your bedroom or you paint a room in your house and you're all done and you follow through, beginning to end, you're satisfied. That's not necessarily confidence building, but maybe it is confidence building because maybe now that you painted the room, you think you can do wallpaper, right? So lastly, we're going to talk about reflection. So what did you learn from this potato exercise or from this workshop today about yourself or one of your peers? Potatoes are what?
I thought this young lady, I don't know,
Faith.
she just kept shoving that straw.
Okay.
And it popped all the
So
way through.
can you write determination on the board for me? So you saw a lot of determination. So Faith, she just gave you a big up. And that she said in your potato activity, you were like, I'm not stopping until I get it done. Anybody else side? If one way doesn't work, try it a different way. That's right. So it's like the little engine that could, right? Don't what? Don't be weak like the straw and break. So be resilient, okay? Be resilient is what I'm hearing you say. Is that what you're saying, Demiana? Yes. Anybody else? Sarah, you always have wisdom. You tired tonight?
I learned to just think logically.
Okay. Think it through.
Yeah.
Right. Think it through. Have a strategy.
Yeah, have a strategy.
Yeah, have a strategy. And so at the end of the day, a lot of all of the things that we try to reinforce in EOF and just in general in college and in your life is with some of the things, perseverance, Lorena put. So perseverance. Thank you, Lorena. Anybody else online have anything to add? I'll give it a second. Determination, just put a number 2 next to that. There you go. So again, in your life, you're going to face obstacles, you're going to face challenges, you're going to win, you're going to lose, you're going to try, you're going to fail, right? But you have to, as my daughter always says to me, turn your losses into lessons and don't let your failures or your losses
beat you down. Because what did we talk about today? Clean slate. So while you wrote those words on the board and Lisa erased them, that's what you should do for yourself every single day. You have good days, you have bad days. On the good days, you can write down all the good things that work for you that day so you can continue doing those. On the bad days, you write it down and then you erase it and you start over. But you need to reflect on it so you don't repeat that cycle. Because if you do the same thing the same way and get the same result and it's not positive, then that's a problem, right? That's going to result in bad grades, you being stressed out, just overall, maybe not meeting your goals in the end. So when you start doing more of the things that get you where you want to go, makes you feel good, builds your confidence, and ultimately it'll get you walking across the stage. Usually it's around May 19th to the 21st, depending, but it's the third Saturday in May every single year. And if that's your goal, then we are here to be there to shake your hand when you come off that stage, put that sash around you and give you what you need so that, and hug, yes. That EOF love that we give, and we want to make sure that you know that you have people to go to. You have me, you have Catherine, you have Lisa, you have tons of campus resources, and we want you to use them. And the number one thing that I want to leave you with tonight is when in doubt, ask a question. Okay? Ask us, ask your professor. How many of you ask questions in class? Raise your hand. No questions. Of course, yeah. But that's a good strategy. How many of you ask questions online in class? Raise your hand. Okay. So those who raised your hand, you are very brave and courageous because you have people sitting there who are probably wondering the same thing as you, but you have the courage to ask and get the answer and not leave the classroom not knowing. A strategy that one of our scholars here had shared was she'll ask questions at the end of class, maybe one-on-one with the professor, or maybe email the professor, right? So it depends on your comfort level. And I think the more questions you ask, the more engaged you are. And when you're borderline C or D or D or F or A or B, then that professor knows that you put in what? Effort. Effort is the most important measure for, that's what you're killing me. Okay, so Demiana says try. So this is from her past experience. Try to not ask insulting questions to your professor. Okay. You want your professor to be your ally. Okay. They're not here to fail you. They're here to educate you. And some professors are more challenging than others, but remember, in relationships, this is a short-term relationship, right? Every semester, 15 weeks, one professor, one course. Unless that's the only professor teaching the course, then you're gone. You're moving on. All right. So you have to think it through 1 week at a time, 15 weeks, and you're good to go. Does anyone have any questions?
You don't have something inside the
He's complete that. Any questions online? No questions? All right. Oh yes, we have one last thing. Okay. We were gonna do a quiz, but at the end of the day, I forgot to add the transitions back to the slide. But so in closing remarks, we want you to remember, make advising appointments. We can do them virtually with Catherine. You've submitted your action plans, and we want to follow up with you to make sure that you're on track for graduation. We have the important dates. you had them in your folder, and those of you online, you had it mailed to you. But now we're gonna do a little drawing for, what's the prize?
We could do two, since we're not doing that.
Okay, well, here, let Dina pick it out. Oh, are you in there? Is she in there? Are you in there?
Yes.
Okay, let me pick this.
Can I do it?
No.
You're making a mess over there.
And the winner is,
She's not here.
okay, so next one, you gotta be present to win. All right, too bad for her. Second chance. Tina Sonata wins the first prize. There you go. All right, I'm just gonna pick this one.
Bianca Jordan.
Oh, she was here yesterday, yes.
What a shame. Peter.
Lorena. Let me show you what you won. You won a box of chocolate. Congratulations. So I don't know, the next time you're on campus, email Catherine, let her know next time you're on campus, and you can go by her office and pick it up.
I'll be
Okay?
there Monday morning to pick up my chocolates.
What day morning? I didn't hear you.
Monday morning.
Monday morning. She'll be here to pick up.
I'm not here on
Are you not here on Monday? Well, you know what? She's not here on Monday, so Lorena, stop by academics and you can come and see me. I'm in academics, Tiffany Warren, and I'll have your chocolates for you, okay?
Or will.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and Brianna, I'm sure you look beautiful. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for coming. And there was cake here, so bye-bye. You're welcome.
You can definitely get a